Stress is part of all of our lives. The question is it necessary? Is the human condition such that we necessarily have to experience stress? And can we manage stress so that it's a small amount that's healthy or a lot of stress that's unhealthy is a fairly popular view. But I think it's important to recognise that there is no medical condition called stress. It's not defined as a medical condition, it's a response. So the stressful response is really what we want to look at. And people say that stress that is a necessary part of our lives, I think often confuse that with the whole idea of motivation. So I think that if we're clear on what can motivate us in life in a very healthy way, that stress does not need to be part of our lives. So if we respond to things in a stressful way, in a prolonged way over a long period of time, then what that will do is that will increase the way that all of the various functions of our system are operating. It's probably important to mention something about what many people know about is what we call the flight or fight response. So we're in a situation that is somehow threatening to us in some way, whether it's something that's natural or something to do with our work or relationships or anything at all that we perceive as some kind of a danger to us. Our physiology is designed to respond to that. And so we respond to it as a functional way of coping with what could be a difficult situation. But if we keep doing that, as many of us do, then we're constantly living in a state where the systems of our body are always on alert and are always at that, that vigilant level of hyped up activity. And sooner or later, that will create problems in the various functions of our system. What we would all like to be able to do is at least reduce stress, into a very comfortable way. So yoga is one of the ways that is very helpful because it deals with every aspect of who we are. It deals with the physiological component of stress, but it also gives us the opportunity to work with one of the key components of stress, which is the way that we breathe. And ultimately, stress is not just, or managing stress is first of all about reducing the symptoms, which any of us would be quite happy with. If we can reduce the symptoms of stress in our lives, that's a great thing. But ultimately, stress is about the way the mind responds to a situation, the way the mind perceives a particular situation. If we perceive it as stressful, then there will be a stress response. If we can change the way the mind responds or reacts to a whole range of different factors of our lives, then the stress response won't happen in the first place. So yoga not only offers the opportunity to reduce the physiological symptoms of stress and to use the breath to help manage the way that affects us through our nervous system, but yoga offers us an opportunity to actually change the way we think so that we're not reacting to situations that create the stress response in the first place. Yoga is designed very, very well to not only reduce the symptoms of stress, but to actually trigger what we call the relaxation response. There are many, many techniques that we can use, but one of them in particular is, as we say, long exhale. So how about we go through a very simple long exhale? It really is this simple. It can be done anywhere. It can be done sitting in the chair. It can be sitting on the bus. It can be, while you're waiting for your coffee to be served. It can be done at any time whatsoever. All it would involve is something like this, where you just sit comfortably. You can even be lying down if you want, and just inhale normally and exhale slowly. And just do that a few times, eyes open, eyes closed, doesn't matter. Just inhale normally, exhale slowly. Nothing special, nothing fancy, because what the long exhale does is it actually triggers what we call the relaxation response, but it triggers the functions of the parasympathetic nervous system. We don't need to talk about all the anatomical or physiological aspects of it, but it's the inhale that gives us energy, it's the exhale that helps us to relax. And both are important. We need the energy, but we also need the ability to be able to relax and keep the system calm in order to cope with the things that we need to cope with. So we need both. We need the energy, but we also need the ability to remain calm, relaxed in what we're doing. And long exhale is absolutely the key to that. When we're stressed, people often say to us, take a few deep breaths. You don't want to take a few deep breaths. What we want to do is, more precisely, is you want to breathe out slowly. So when we take a few deep breaths, it can actually increase the effects of the stress response. So what people are trying to, help us out, if we're upset or stressed about something, take a few deep breaths. What we really want to do is inhale normally, exhale slowly. So a few deep breaths really ought to mean take a few slow breaths, and in particular, slow, long exhale.